Kathy Griffin, you douchebag. We all know what you're doing. Nobody believes that what you were trying to do in decapitating the president and putting his bloody head in print was to be a joke. Nobody thinks that. We all know what that really is. It's a signal, is what that is. It's a way to push the Overton window further and further down the line. And for those who don't know what the Overton window is, it's someone doing a particularly heinous or ridiculous act that is so offensive that most people get offended by it, and there's a backlash to it. And it's saying, we cannot have that. We can never have something like that in our society. Could you imagine this happening 10 years ago? Could you imagine, George W. Bush's head, decapitated and someone holding it up for all to see, like someone from ISIS beheaded him? No, you couldn't. But now, that ridiculous act is like, wow, we can't believe it happened. So the backlash that happens now is going to push it a little bit further up so that maybe a little bit more and more offensive things could be done. Not as offensive as cutting, the president's head off, but say, someone shooting a kid or something like that, which is, pretty much, I guess, acceptable now anyway. You figure The Rock on Saturday Night Live said that he invented a child molesting robot, which that is a great thing to say. I mean, especially when you're putting it on Saturday Night Live for millions of people to see, right? What that does, what that does when you put the president's head decapitated, these kinds of acts degrade the social and moral fibers of a society. No matter what anyone wants to say, you can sit here and say, well, no, it's just a joke. It's not a joke. Kathy Griffin, it was never intended to be a joke. The Rock, that's not a funny thing. I mean, no matter if you laugh at someone saying you invented a child molesting robot, there's something sickly wrong with you. You seriously have a mental problem if you think that's funny. So here we are in this society, not understanding which way is up and down, thinking that this is okay and acceptable to get away with. The double standard on the left and the hypocrisy that's there for them to be able to do these kind of acts is absolutely getting out of control, and it's got to stop. I don't care. Everyone says, well, the last generation was, this generation is not as bad as the last generation. So everyone has a worse time in their life than the previous generation. In my day, it was never this bad. Well, it's going to get to a point to where how much lower can you go? We're already at the least common denominator. So I leave you with that. It makes me sick to see someone that would be able to do that and get away with it. Sure, she got CNN fired, or who cares? Really, at this point, who cares? Kathy Griffin, she doesn't matter anyway. She was just a fall guy for putting this image out there for all to see. Like, hey, here's our president's head decapitated with blood dripping down it. This is okay, right? No, it's not okay, and it'll never be okay. It's not a joke. Screw you, Kathy Griffin.